Stand with me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank everybody for the turnout tonight. We always enjoy public comment on what we're doing here, and a little point of order, if someone didn't get the word, that we have actually moved our second reading of the Shelton Hills FEIS to the March 17th meeting, but you're more than welcome to have a comment tonight under the general public comment period, and we did pass out a little a sheet here on basically on our rules for how we run these meetings, and so just going to keep everything in what you call a civil tone tonight. So we appreciate you coming. First point of business is a commission report on the Shelton Timberland Library, and I'm not sure if Patty is here yet. Yes.
Patty's just was under the weather this evening, and so we'll reschedule her for another time.
Okay, so on your agenda, that will be rescheduled to a later period. All right, next is our Commission weekly reports, and Commissioner Moore.
I have no meetings this week.
All right. Commissioner Olson.
Tomorrow I'll be attending the Law Enforcement and Firefighters Benefits meeting, my first one. Should be fun, as I'm heard.
Yeah. And tomorrow I will be meeting with the Simpson Timber Company with our city administrator to talk to them, I think, about the city and some improvements and whatnot. And on Wednesday, I'll be meeting with Lynn Longan, and she's the new director for the Economic Development Council. And then on Thursday, I will be reading Dr. Seuss books to children at Mountain View Elementary. So that concludes our commission reports. Next on the agenda is a general public comment period. We're going to have two of these tonight, but we're going to limit them to 1 3-minute comment per person, okay? So if we have someone that would like to speak tonight at this time, we have you sign up, and this is a sign-up sheet, so I can go through this list. If anyone else would like to speak, then please just come right up here and we'll get your name and your phone number. And to keep the process kind of moving along, I'll just start at the top of the list. And Christy Buck, would you like to speak for 3 minutes?
Certainly. Thank you very much. I'm Christy Buck, P.O. Box 1487. I don't know if you guys require those people to put in their address, but okay, in Shelton. I'm an owner of a downtown business and a building in downtown Shelton on Railroad Avenue. So I want to thank you, commissioners, for the opportunity to speak tonight and for your service to the city, because I know it's not easy to sit up in front and listen to people talk at you sometimes instead of with you. I have a couple things I want to comment on. First, I'd like to agree with the chamber on their recommendation that you support option number 2 for the water system infrastructure issue. I believe that was the accepting the $2 million grant and adding 2 in a loan to it, the option number 2. It addresses many things that the city can get done, yet is fiscally conservative. I believe that the economy will continue to improve over time. I'm hoping that, praying that the economy continues to improve, and that other money options are going to be available to us in the future. So I don't think this is going to be the last time you're going to have an opportunity to get some money to finish what you need to have done. I appreciate that you recognize that there's a lot of stuff that needs to get done. I just don't think it's the right time to take that big of a bite. And so that's just what I want to say about that. And secondly, I'd like to comment on the Shelton Hills project down the Goose Lake and C Street cleanup. I'm certainly not an expert in environmental cleanup, but I believe that the Department of Ecology is. Now that both of these sites are on their radar screen, I believe that they're going to see that cleanup through. Hanging the cleanup of these sites on Hall Equities is like telling a home builder that he can't build a home in a neighborhood that has a known meth lab cleanup site. So they're unrelated to each other. I think they're both going to, all 3 things are going to happen. I just don't think that there's a reason to hold up the one for the the others. Hall Equities doesn't own these properties, but it's certainly vested in seeing them cleaned up. They don't want to build their project next to something that doesn't work out very well for people either. And I firmly believe that Goose Lake and C Street will get cleaned up, and that having the Hall Equities project beginning to take shape next door will put more eyes and more pressure on the owners of those properties to get their stuff done than now, where it's kind of a remote possibility. Washington State has a reputation of being one of the most environmentally sensitive and strict states in the nation. The Department of Ecology will certainly do their job on these sites, I believe. I urge you to let the Hall Equities project begin this spring. You guys have an incredible opportunity to be the commission that goes on down in history as the one that improves this opportunity for jobs and growth, and I urge you to do so. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next is Melanie.
Melanie Bacala, P.O. Box 2468, Shelton. I'm a building owner and a business owner in downtown Shelton. Just want to comment on the Shelton Hills Hall Equities project. This community needs this development to happen. The addition of retail stores will keep more of our dollars and our tax base in Mason County, which will provide additional sales tax revenue for the city. While the property is adjacent to Goose Lake and the old C Stream dump, Hall Equity should be held responsibility only for the environmental issues on their property, and they are addressing those. The issues of the adjacent properties are the responsibility of other parties, and Hall Equities has even helped efforts in getting those parties together and talking. So they are participating in taking that seriously. The additional sales tax revenue that will come from the first phase of this commercial development is not only important for the city, but important for the potential revenue to address maybe the city's portion of some of this cleanup. So I encourage the city to support Hall Equity's efforts in bringing additional business to Mason County. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your comments. Next is Terry Thompson.
Terry Thompson, I didn't plan on speaking tonight, but I just wanted to say something kind of more directly towards the citizens than to anyone else. I read a few things over the weekend about the Chamber's comments regarding the 6 points about why we should all support Hall Equities in the development here. And it made me, at the very last thing that Heidi said, and I've known Heidi since she was 4 years old, so it was like, it really upset me because it kind of was trying to shame those of us that are concerned enough that we've spent the last 2 and 3 years of our lives sitting at Department of Ecology, doing research everywhere. We're only doing that because we are concerned about the lives of the families that live here. The point that she tried to make, that these are not connected, that Hall Equities properties abuts these, is not exactly true. And we're still checking into a few things that are related to that, but I will say the groundwater there is interconnected through that whole region. It is a kara. And if you don't know what a kara is, I would suggest to people to get on the internet and read Lori Morgan's book that explains the importance of them. What is it? A kara is a critical aquifer recharge area. That means where the aquifer gets its water to be recharged. It comes down through rain, through snow, and that sort of thing. If you have an understanding about that, and then you read the research about where the water goes from that point and the flow, there is a flow, and the flow goes towards Shelton Springs. Shelton Springs then is where the proposed water is that will feed the development. So I guess my time is up. I thought I heard a bell. So,
No, you have a
okay,
minute.
I heard a bell.
No, you got a minute.
I'm sorry.
You still have 1 full minute. Terry,
Okay, I can
please.
be on a roll.
All right.
Anyway, the city right now has a waiver. It's called an area waiver, and that's totally normal. In the United States, they have allotted for that. But what I'm concerned about is they shut down Shelton Springs years ago because it was under, they thought, influence of surface water. They decided that no, it is fed through groundwater. The groundwater is 1 mile from Goose Lake, and the water from Goose Lake feeds into Shelton Springs. I have suggested that if they are going to think about opening Shelton Springs, they need to do comprehensive water testing on that water before they ever start. And that would be pharmaceuticals, because there are multiple areas of spraying biosolids. That would be all the different chromiums there's a whole list. You can go into the agreed order of what is in Goose Lake, and those are the things that you would probably want to test for. So it's like, we are concerned people, we're proud people that we live here. This is our town. And so nobody put us down for that. And yes, I have a business here in town also.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate your comments. Next is Pat.
Hey, 111 Southeast Lupin Place. I first would like to make a comment about this conduct of general public here that we have. Speakers may only comment once on each subject. What is this?
I think this has been our rules for like the past 20 years. This is just a copy of our rules, I think, is what we've had for public comment periods. So, but the last meeting, we let people speak multiple times, and but in this particular meeting, in order to get everything done, we have a 3-minute per item per person.
What is it going to be on when you have the next hearing?
It'll be 3 minutes per item per person.
I wonder how that affects our First Amendment right to be able to address the leaders of our community when we can't get it all in 3 minutes. It doesn't seem proper to me.
Well, you have an opportunity now.
I am, but...
I didn't write these rules.
What has that to do with the First Amendment?
Well, nothing. So, I mean, you have an opportunity
the First
to
Amendment
speak.
doesn't apply to the city council.
What I'm saying is we have these rules that have been in place for like 20 years.
That doesn't make any difference.
And we just brought them out. That's what we can change them. We'd have to
Well, I
sit
think they
down,
should be changed
think
because
about
it's
that.
not giving us adequate time to address things that need to be addressed. And I think we have a right under the First Amendment to be able to express our views completely to the people that are governing us, so they are aware of our grievances. So I think that should be changed. The second thing I'd like to say is concerning all this endorsement of Hills Equity and the college being in line and taking care of it. There's only one agreed order that was done April 25th, 2001. And it says nothing about what's in this ordinance or any of the EIS, DEIS, FEIS, and there is no a remedial plan that's in effect. And Rainier has been thumbing their nose at us since that time. And I don't see anywhere in the near in the future, unless there's political pressure put on them, to make them come around and take responsibility and clean it up. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next is Richard Beckman.
Hi, thank you for your time. I'm Richard Beckman. I am a small business owner and vice president of the Mesa County Association of Realtors. The Realtors endorse Shelton Hills, support Shelton Hills. This city needs a tax base. We need the jobs. It's tough for a city to survive on services like fire, pay for the service for fire, police. We need the tax base, we need the jobs, and the Mesa County Association of Realtors supports this. And I, as a small business owner, support this. The fact is I've been here for many years, and nothing has been done up there on the cleanup. Once we get this development started, the eyeballs are going to be on it. Hull Equities is definitely going to pursue and continue to pursue cleaning up, getting the things cleaned up. It's not their responsibility to do the cleanup. It's not on their property. Ecology needs to get together and work out a system to get this thing cleaned up, but Hull Equities shouldn't be tethered to the cleanup to get their development going. It doesn't make any sense. Like Christy Buck said, if I want to build a house, I shouldn't have to clean up my neighbor's front yard to build that house. That's un-American. So with that said, I encourage you all to support the Shelton Hills project. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. That's all I had signed up for this general public comment period. If anyone would like to say something, they could sign up now. We have another opportunity a little later in the meeting, and it looks like it won't be very long from now. So, moving on with our agenda, have my fellow commissioners had ample time to review their consent agenda? If they had, then could we please have a reading of the consent agenda?
Consent agenda. Vouchers numbered 82869 through 82961 in the amount of $393,979.84. Manual warrant numbered 82868 in the amount of $33,693.68 to Department of Revenue. Shelton Historic Preservation Board reappointment, Ms. Jan Parker, with a term expiring December 31st, 2016. Direct Appropriations Contract Agreement, Wastewater Treatment Plant Intertie Project. Authorize the mayor to sign.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as read?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
I second that.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any questions? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda passes. There is no old business at this time, but we have a new business item. And it will be a budget modification, and I believe it's going to be coming from our Director of Financial Services, Kathy Byerly.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. I'm here on behalf of Vicki Look, the Management Assistant, on requesting a budget modification for the 2013 budget. In May of 2013, the Commission approved a contract for the network design and management to upgrade the city's IT network and authorized the mayor to sign this contract, but a budget modification wasn't approved at that time. So I'm now here asking for that budget modification so we can be in compliance with our 2013 budget. It does appear in the briefing here that there was a little over $9,000 available and unspent, but really it's $6,500. I just wanted to make you aware of that. Other than that, I would just request, if you don't have any questions, to consider a budget modification in amount not to exceed $34,905 for the 2013 budget. And it would normally go on the consent agenda for next week, but at your option, if there's no issues, I would request it being done tonight.
All right, well, this is an action item, and so we do have an opportunity for if there's any public comment specifically on this action item, on this budget modification, that you have an opportunity to speak about this. If there isn't anybody, then I would invite my fellow commissioners if they have any questions or comments about this budget modification.
None for me.
None for me.
No.
All right, so hearing that, would we accommodate Kathy in her mission to do a motion concerning this?
I move to authorize the city administrator to make necessary budget modification to the 2013 budget for the computer network infrastructure upgrade in an amount not to exceed $34,905.
I second that motion.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The motion passes. Item number G is administration report. Mr. Dave O'Leary.
No report tonight, Your Honor.
Okay. This is another general public comment period, and if anyone else would like to come and speak, we have a sign-up sheet here, name and address, and if not, then...
Different topic.
A different topic? No problem at all. There you go. There you go. Oh, you already signed in. No, that's all right, Terry, you already signed in. Different topic. There you go. Very good. Terry, you can speak.
Okay. Terry Thompson, and I'm just going to bring up, I think it was September, if I recall, I brought information forward about the C Street dump. And the C Street dump, there's a legacy, it's a legacy dump. It was in operation from one time I was a little kid, well, before that. Anyway, I have a one-page informational sheet on it if anybody is interested in the history. We put together all the information on it. I've given it to both Ecology and the City of Shelton. And it belonged to a family that gave it to the City of Shelton back in 1927. And all the years that it was used as our main dump, it closed. It was supposed to have closed back in around 1974. And then they kept using it. They used it for things like dumping all the sewage sludge from the treatment plant, the bag house from Simpson, which was the dioxin ash, sediment out of Oakland Bay, and the logs that came from there, industrial chemicals, charred remains of the whole hardware store, and creosote logs, other vegetation, and that sort of thing. And when a guy from Ecology came to inspect, he found out it was still in operation. And so they were told that they had to close during formal closing, which included water monitoring and fencing and all that. And I realize none of you were here at that time anyway, but I don't see any action taken at this point by the city to do that. And that is still, I believe, I know you guys keep saying that we're looking at that, we want to do that. I'd like to see some action started, that we are actively working with Ecology to go through that closure process, because that is something that needs to be assessed, ranked, and then we all need to put that political pressure, because they seriously told me it will not get cleaned up unless there's political pressure. It has nothing to do with the ranking, and I think that we need to do that. We need to, if it needs to be cleaned up, we need to ask what it's going to take, and as a community, we need to figure it out how we're going to do that instead of letting it get worse. And I mean, we don't know how bad it is at this point, but it does need to go through the assessment, because they were supposed to assess back in, I think, 1986. That's when the assessment, Ecology, there was 2 letters that they were coming. They went to the county and went to the city saying, we're on our way to do the assessment, and they never showed up. And that's what I fear is just going to kind of continue again, and we bring it up, it goes to sleep, we bring it up, it goes to sleep. Ecology does the same thing. So we need to take action. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. And I can assure you that all 3 of the commissioners sitting here are in favor of getting that dump cleaned up, and that we are in a process, okay? And I don't know, Mr. Goins, if you wanted to explain what process we are right now at this point with that, could you just...
Yes, Mayor, the city has had contact with Ecology on a number of occasions to do a site hazard assessment. They are contracting with a firm to provide that service to the city. They're working through their process currently to find the funding to fund that work, and they've told us that in terms of getting that scheduled, they'd like to do that quickly, but they're working through some other budgetary issues. But they've drafted a scope of work. They have a contractor who's looked at it and given them a quote, and we're hoping to hear back from them in the coming weeks or months and get a report back from them once they've been out here and completed the work.
Okay, very good. Catherine Price, did you want to come and say something for a little bit?
Yes, hi. Catherine Price, 603 South 9th Street here in Shelton. I think the realtors were given some bad information. Nobody who has testified here has asked Hall's Equity to clean up other people's property. What we have asked is for the cleanup to occur prior to development because of the proximity of the properties. So for the realtors to believe that we're asking someone to clean up someone else's yard or garbage is incorrect. That's not true. And Terry Thompson and Constance Ibsen and Pat Vandehey have done an incredible service to this community, and a whole bunch of other people that a list of people who work for clean water for this community, who should have degrees for what they have learned in the research process, who have contacts that you guys maybe don't have with Ecology now because they've been forced to take the laboring oar in something that I think the city of Shelton should be leading on. Not Terry Thompson. You guys should be leading on this, and it's frustrating that they are portrayed in the community as anything other than really good citizens doing really good work for what they think is a really good cause, their home, their children, the health. We want people to come and buy homes in a new development. We need to do the cleanup and then provide the place for new people to live. But the order has to be appropriate. And so you guys, the public, the political pressure is going to come from the city of Shelton. Ecology is not perceiving us as a body that has political pressure. That's you guys. So please, step up, lead on this, especially the two commissioners. We're really depending and counting on you. So thank you for everything that you do and everything that you're going to do. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Catherine. If anyone wants to speak on this or any other subject, now is the opportunity. If you haven't signed in, you just have to sign your name on this little sheet, and we are here. We are welcoming any public comment. So if anybody else would like to speak, this is our final opportunity tonight.
I would actually like to comment on that issue and just let you know that we are looking into that. I personally have been in contact with 5 separate people at Ecology that Terry has given me their names. So Mike has contacted our legislators. So we're taking it very seriously. So thank you.
Thank you very much. That ends the general public comment period for tonight. Any administration final touches?
On the purple sheet, Your Honor.
Very good. Our next meeting will be Monday, March 10th at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. This meeting is adjourned.